In this second video, we're going to have a look at how we use PubMed programmatically and for PDFs. The first thing I want to say is that basically when we want a PDF, the way that NCBI stores them, it has a special folder that has 65,000 odd folders. So if we go into a folder here, and we go into another one, we can see that every PDF is stored here. I'm going to come back. This is a special code that actually links it to the PDF, but it has a random number here. So when we're in PubMed, when we want to actually download it programmatically, we can't actually find it because we don't know this code and we don't know this code. So for example, when we do a search, and this is how a search title is, if we notice at the top, it's a URL. And if I come back into here, into my thing, we can see that basically when we're doing this, that actually we have jkhan and rabdosokamo here, that is the web query, that how I can change these terms to get exactly what I want. So when we come back here, for example, when we send this query and we can change all of these different items here, we get a list of all JK's, Javikhan's articles. And the first thing to note, it has its unique ID for the article. But if we want to see the actual PDF, when we click on the link, what you'll notice is it has this number here, that PMC ID number, which is different to this. Now notice on this page, there's an abstract. We can scrape it. But if we click here, we will actually go into the whole PDF and the link. And we can also scrape some of these things here too. And without going into details, what I did is I reverse engineered everything so that for a given URL for that PDF, I've extracted out that unique code and kept it in a separate field. So this acts as a lookup field. So as soon as we know the PMC ID, we can know exactly where the PDF is despite its sort of random code and download it programmatically. So what I basically done is for a given PMID and a PMC ID, I actually extracted out the abstract so that we have a line for every entry. And in this case, I've got like 10 entries of a sort of abstract for that particular article, which later on I'm going to join into one big file as a knowledge base. But we can extract many different things that we want and expand out this sort of database to have the results column, to have any sort of cross references. All of that can be done basically through doing web scraping, because when I click on this and open it up here, you'll see that I've got access to the HTML and I've got access to the text. Programmatically, I can scrape any of these things and store it in reference to the PMID and the PMC ID, so that basically it's all in a database rather than on a web page. So to summarize, we can basically get access to any kind of query search, and it can be built up as much as we want by basically, for example, just changing items here. And we can see that we've had the 65,000 folders, so we have access to all the PDFs, which we can download. And we've also seen how I've linked the URLs in the PMC ID. So as we work through, once we get that code, we can store data into a database, but we can also then refer to the actual PDF and programmatically download it, or chop it up and present it in different ways. So that's the end of PubMed and PDFs.